So I'm up against two full armies with my small army of things like about 4 or 5,000. Somehow I won. Yeah, I'm not going to say much more, but here we are. It was actually my first ever time using elephants, so I have no idea what I'm doing. But I think they worked a little bit, maybe. So I tried my best to defend my flanks a little bit. I realised that I was getting flanked quite heavily on my left, so I moved my cavalry from my right to intercept. Set up some balls here, hoping that I might be able to use them at some stage here to just, I don't know, damage the enemy somewhat and ruin their morale a wee bit. And some spears up here to close in when the enemy get here, but you'll see in a sec this doesn't actually work as I had intended. Look at that. Fucked my plans right up. Anyway, these guys are heavy as hell, so they're kind of perfect. Where they were happened to just be just right anyway, so you'll see. Yeah, so I'm just charging my elephants in because really I didn't know how to use them, so just rampage them at the nearest dudes and hope like hell they did stuff. It looks like they didn't do shit, but oh, that's a lie. Okay, yep, people are dying fairly quickly. I take that back. Okay, so they were useful. I didn't really watch them when the game was playing. I was a bit too busy. So these guys try to flank me on my right, and I pretty much just use these guys here to fend it off for as long as possible. I felt that I needed to leave these guys facing the enemy, just so that I had a good wall. This whole thing up here didn't really go as I expected, but it did go better than after a while how I thought it might have gone, so I'm not complaining. Having spears up here to counter the cavalry was just actually super fortunate. I took, I don't think you've seen this, I took my cavalry. They've intercepted up here. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much all it is for quite some time. This wall was actually amazing. Really screwed up a cavalry charge. Just got some crappy artillery, just pounding out whatever they can. So my war elephants have caused quite a bit of damage, bit of chaos in their lines. Probably allowed me to defend this corner a lot better than I would have been able to if I didn't have those elephants, I'm guessing. So this is the first time I've also ever fought two armies. Generally speaking, I try to trap my enemies into attacking me when I'm in a fort, because I find that's obviously super easy to defend against. So these guys are surrounded, but I found that these dudes here don't actually end up fully engaged. Is that these guys? I'll find out soon. What else we got? Alright, so these guys are now done with up over here. They've sort of caused enough chaos and lowered the enemy's numbers that they're not really a huge threat, so I thought I'll bring them back to my lines. And as I was doing that, I realized, hey, they can use these balls. So, well, it was worth a shot, so... yeah, so their right flank's getting quite smashed, but as I said, these guys here didn't actually get engaged, so I used them I had to take them away from that, and thought I'd surround this cavalry. 2 spears on the cavalry, just going to destroy them. What's up next? That's pretty much it. My elephants are about to expire, sadly, but I'm happy with what they did. Now this is the first army still, by the way. The second one hasn't arrived. Yeah, joy. Cool. Awesome. So I managed to sort of fend off that initial charge by the opponents there. And, I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident now, but I still just imagined that I was actually going to get rolled. Right. So instead of chasing these guys, I don't think I was actually watching them at this point. From the looks of that, these guys have run a bit too far. So yep, use these other ones, get in there, envelop the cavalry, and just start destroying their rank. Yep. Cool. So I managed to get off some of these balls, and I didn't really pay attention to them, but they seem to have done a little bit of work. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm not even mad. I thought that was a complete waste of time. I had no idea that they worked. So. That's fantastic. My guys up here not doing too well, but they're doing their job. They're distracting the enemy. Now, my intention was to get these heavy spears back to my line, but they ended up getting in the shit. So I deployed them into a what do you call it, formation, which, as you'll see, absolutely worked in my favor. It totally blew my mind, really. Anyway, so the enemy is almost completely upon me at this point, and I'm expecting to just get destroyed here. But anyway, here we go. So deploy them to the hop 2 formation, or whatever the hell it's called, and they just pretty much become this target for the entire enemy, basically, which leaves me to sort of focus on just defending this right flank and sort of squashing them and crashing them. So I took my what do you call it, my general who was on my left flank, because just didn't think that I needed him. I thought this is probably a useful to just send him over to the right, and he can help just improve the amount of damage that's happening on that side, as well as provide a bit more morale, because some of these guys were starting to lose a bit of faith. Well, this cavalry was really dumb. Nearly ran into the spikes. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure what I was doing at this point. I missed that, but whatever. They didn't charge me. Yeah, I thought at this point what I should do is sort of bring that flank back so that if they did try to come at me, they wouldn't be, so easy to just come around this side. And yeah, this right flank's getting a little bit demolished. And the trick that I found here was choosing the right time to move these troops over here and back again, rather than just leaving them here to destroy them, just actually coming in and doing a little bit of damage to these guys here. Are they camels? Oh no, not camels, just dudes. Dudes who are the color of camels. Yeah. So these guys are great. These guys are just holding their own. Everyone's trying to fuck them up and it's not working, because they're absolute beasts. But yeah, as you can see they just occupied the entire enemy, which just kind of saving grace, really. It's taking a bit of time, but I can't really speed it up. My computer's actually a little bit shit. And oh yeah, so my my artillery ran out of ammo, so I've just started using them as, well, just a bit of extra damage there. I honestly don't know how useful they are, to be fair, but I figured might as well throw everything at it. I thought I was gonna lose, so. Yeah, pull these guys away, so I can move them over here to envelop them. So that worked great. And as you can see, like, all of these guys were exhausted anyway, from having to walk all that way. One of the main things I did is I made sure I deployed as close to the far walls, and just make sure that the enemy had to really work hard to get to me. I was obviously not paying attention here because this unit is just doing nothing. Not very efficient, but whatever. I'll get better. What else? God, I really want to speed this up, but it's just going to kill my computer. Well, it won't kill my computer, but it just won't look very good. Oh, no, that's right. Okay, they were deployed in a shield formation. I wanted them to chase them, but they didn't. So they stood there until I realized. It'd be good if there was an audio cue for that, but oh well. Oh yeah, so I took some melee from this side, which wasn't really getting engaged in fighting, and I charged them into this here to sort of wedge them between my two units. And at the same time, I took another unit that was here and went that way, and sort of caught these guys who are in here, so they're all squashed. Cool. So destroy them. So that flanking force is now completely destroyed, and this leads me to the opportunity to start bringing my units around and enveloping and pushing that direction. So I've managed to rout a unit or two, which has been great. I don't have any cavalry because I use that single cavalry up here. poor guys. Um, but if I did, it would have been amazing because I would have just absolutely destroyed all this range. But that'll teach me for getting rid of my cavalry mercenaries that I had. I had a bit of what do you call it? Financial troubles, shall we say? So I had to thin out all of my troops. And the reason I got attacked by two massive armies is because I wasn't watching the strategy map. I pretty much told this army to attack a city in the very like a serious distance away. Yeah, I had no idea, and so they just auto ran there after a while and ended up attacking a city that was defended by two massive armies. Well, I don't know about massive, but they were full armies. Yeah, so the enemy routed, the main attacking force routed, and but I knew that they probably weren't going to stay routed, so there was no sort of rush to join this other melee over here. So I just kind of kept my formation and tried to straighten my lines out a wee bit. And trying to keep that left flank slightly secure. I know I'm running a mod. It's a battle realism mod. I can't remember what it's called. Honestly, I don't know if it makes it harder or easier because I never even bothered to actually play normal very much. So I was using another mod as well, which I just switched off, which was the massive armies, like ×3 size armies. I think it might actually still be on by the looks of this, but whatever. Right. So these guys are still going strong, though they've lost a ton of men, but the battle's, you know, I can already see that it's sort of moving in my favor, at least more so than it was at the beginning. I started to see you call it, a glimmering ray of hope, and thought, okay, I can do this. So yeah, really, I needed more cavalry. I probably could have beaten this faster and a little bit more skillfully had I had cavalry. And these guys are going to come back again, so I have arranged them all in a nice orderly line on top of all of the corpses. God, that's brutal. But because of the smaller amount of troops that were there, I sent off these spearmen to come and envelop this group here, provide a bit of support to these hoplites, whatever. Hoplites. Alright. See if I can speed this up a bit. No, that just killed it. My bad. Scorpion guys, what are you doing? Aw. I don't know what they're doing. Standing there. But my enveloping worked and started to pay off. The enemy started to try and flank with their missiles. However, this was great. I don't know if they ran out of ammo or what. No, I think they were trying to line up or something, maybe. Oh no, they have no ammo. But anyway, them running into these guys was just awesome. Just meant that I was able to attack them with my swordsman. Okay, so my flatmate just came in, so I was just giving him a rundown on what the hell I'm actually doing. So yeah, all right. So this the main attacking force is basically gone, but I'm just waiting till they're completely routed, and slowly sending other forces off to start dealing with this absolute slaughter that's been taking place up on the top of the hill. All right, so that's them. They're all gone. Time to come and destroy them. Unfortunately, my hoplites are all gone. I don't know if they all died or if they managed to rout. I hope they managed to rout. Oh, look, they did. Ah, that's great. Okay, cool. So that means I probably got to keep them. Yeah. So it's all pretty straightforward from here, but it did get a little bit hairy because of the amount of ranged units that were still around, and my guys are getting pretty tired and can't really chase them. So this part here is pretty much just a case of, oh yeah. So I thought the best thing I should do here is set two forces, cause them to come in, and then wedge them in the middle. It seemed to me like the logical thing to do. And it felt like it worked quite well. I just repositioned this guy to deal with the flanking ponies. And it worked just as I had hoped. And yeah. Now I don't know what happened here. These guys here, I think I lost track of or forgot about them or something. So they were actually inactive for a while after this point. Can't quite remember. Yeah, but these guys just charged into a bunch of spears, so I feel very bad for them. Very bad indeed. Now normally when I have a lot of cavalry, I'll ensure that I'll take the time to completely clear up routing units, just so that I don't have to deal with the army later if they manage to escape or flee. But no cavalry, so this is just a case of, yeah, see, I did it. I forgot about these guys. They're just standing there for I don't know how long. I feel really stupid about that because this is a huge force I could have used to flank and just crush them, but I stuffed it up. And yep. Oh, that's right. I definitely can't do that still. Yeah, chasing archers around, missile infantry around is not my idea of a good time. It's a total pain in the ass. So I tried to. Oh, I think I successfully did it actually. Just sandwich these guys. Use my general to attack the enemy general, because that was just the best way to finish it. Try and get everyone's morale down and just get them to flee without me having to destroy them all, chase them. Yep. Surround them and crush them utterly. There you go. So that's that done. I think the general's actually still alive for a little bit here, and then he sort of dies in the as they flee. But yeah, what I've done here is I managed to sandwich them. So at this point, charge this way, and turns out I didn't need to. They're about to run. God, what a mess. So yeah, I don't want to fight any more of those battles. But there we are. It's over. Done. So I'll just speed this up even though it's really horrible frame rate. It's fine in game, it's just because I'm recording this. So. Yeah, I tried to chase them down. It was really stupid. And then I lined them all up for for the photo op, the surviving force, and well done, team. Good on you. You stuck through. So I think in the end it was like about 15,000 versus 5,000, roughly. There we go. Done.